Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
To remove Raymond Archer, foiled. To be honest with you, I wish I wasn't doing this story. But I have to do it. Because I'm going to be dealing with two parties that I have a certain link with. But when it comes to Ghana, nobody is above this beautiful nation. Raymond Archer is the boss of IOCO, Economic and Organized Crime Office. And since he came into that office, wonders all over the place. He has been waving that magic wand. And every time he waves this wand, oh my God, abracadabra, things change. Unprecedentedly, he's been able to claw back over 600 million Ghana cedis from criminals and people who intended to steal from the nation. From the 8 years of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Bawumia government and beyond, IOCO has never risen up to this level from when it was founded. From when it was SOF, Serious Fraud Office. This is Raymond Archer. In fact, in Ghana today, when his name is mentioned, criminals flee. Can I say it again? In Ghana today, when his name is mentioned, criminals flee. His name is like Jesus Christ amongst demons. The moment that name is mentioned, demons start to flee. In this case, criminals run helter-skelter. My brother, my sister, for about a week or two now, it's all over in the news. People perpetrating, linked to some criminals, left, right, and center, in one way or the other, trying to soil this man's rightful achievements. My brother, my sister, and today we decided to look at this. First and foremost, I would like to look at a brethren of mine that I used to work at Xylophone with. At Xylophone, we simply called him Gabi. Later, I got to know, in fact, just about a year ago, that his other name is Tanko. Then I got to know that he's also called Kwamegan. Very beautiful name. My brother, my sister, this is the gentleman. He has a beautiful house right there inside Weta. A house that I have personally visited twice on his invitation. When we worked together at Xylophone, he was in charge of Xylophone Cash. Though short-lived, he did all he could to be able to make things work. At a point, he fell out with Namwan. And, of course, the whole mansion crumbled and we all scattered into the bush like the wild birds that we were, to be able to make life go around for us one more time. That was where we encountered each other. My brother, my sister, for several years, we never spoke. We were not so much of friends like that until it was time for the election to become Council of State member. And then the politics started in the Volta region. A chief in the Volta region approached me and he told me about a certain fraudster who had stolen so much from some white people, all in the name of gold. He told me that he was a thief, a dangerous thief. And he needed me to do my own investigation and find out. But I realized that the chief and this guy were competing. They were in the same elections. So probably it was just mudslinging. So I went underground to try and find out. First and foremost, I asked him, do you have the number of this fraudster you're talking about? He said, yes. He gave it to me. When he left, I went home in the comfort of my home. I decided to call the number. When I dialed, I realized that it was my own brethren, Gabi, from Xylophone, whose name appeared. Somebody I hadn't spoken with for more than 5 years. I said, wow. When he answered, I said, Gabi, are you called Tanko? He said, yes. Are you the one causing all the problems in the Volta region? He said, oh, people are trying to spoil my name. Oh, blah, 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 blah. When I went into the story, I realized that, hey, in fact, they were just trying to do politics with the whole thing and destroy the name of the guy. So I decided not to do the story at all. That's what I do. When I start my investigation and I realize that people just want to use me to destroy people, I get angry with them and I don't get back to them at all. That was how we reconnected. And I visited him twice. Then about a month ago, I was in a high-profile meeting and his name was mentioned. And it was said that some Turkish people had complained that some gold issue and this same guy called Tanko has stolen or defrauded these guys. And the gentleman there asked me, do you know the guy? I said, if I tell you I don't know him, I'm lying. He said, yes, we saw you in a video at his birthday party. I said, yes, I know him. We worked with Nam1 years back. I won't say I know him too well, but I can look at him and say, this is this person. I don't know exactly what kind of business he does. We don't talk business. We only talk Nam1 and also talk entertainment. So that is what it is. Oh, gosh. So I approached him later and I told him, Tanko, I was in a high-profile meeting and this was what I heard. He said, yes. What they are saying, they want to tarnish my image, you know. But the matter is in court. In fact, I have even won. And he told me a lot of things. That was the last time I met with Tanko, even though we spoke a couple of times later. My brother, my sister. Then, my own Iyoko started getting petitions. Not one, not two, not three, about 4 different petitions from different countries, all in the name of gold. And how the same person, Sesiedem, aka Tanko, had swindled them in one way or the other. Wow! When I heard this, I was like, whoa, what is happening? But let's see. I got in contact with him again. I said, this is what I'm hearing. What is the truth? Let me know. He said he had gone to court and had won a certain case. My brother, my sister, those of you who have not read it, I mean, it's online. Anybody can go out there and then read. In that judgment, my brother, my sister, Iyoko, today we are giving you the details. When the story breaks, we take our time and go deep and bring you nothing but the truth. After Iyoko received a lot of these petitions, Iyoko decided to invite Tanko. Come over. We need to have an investigation. We've had petitions against you, and we need to sit down and talk. So Iyoko said, a manager from Sesiedem, that's his company's name, represented him. And when he came, they started asking him questions. He didn't know the questions were going to be this deep. And he started talking about how signatures had been forged and blah, 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 and all that. A lot of the questions he couldn't answer. And Iyoko said, you know what? Tell your boss to come over. We need to investigate. So when this manager went back, he probably went to report to Tanko that, Charlie, the questions they were asking at Iyoko, they were so deep. They said this, they said this, they said this. And Tanko decided to go to court straight with this same issue, the very first issue. My brother, my sister, of gold that was supposed to be sold to some group in Dubai and how they didn't finish sending the gold, and how there was an issue around the gold, some forgery, and the court ruled that one, when we look at this case that you have brought to us, and Iyoko said is going to investigate you, Iyoko is acting ultra virus. In other words, Iyoko doesn't have the mandate to investigate you on this issue. Number two, his accounts were frozen, and the court decided to defreeze the accounts. So Iyoko said, okay, this is what the court is saying. Iyoko went back to court and said, you took a judgment without inviting us. You took a judgment without really involving us, so that the Attorney General would have represented the state, because this is the state against Kwame Tanko, and not the Dubai people or Turkey people against Kwame. Please follow the story well. So the matter is in court right now. But Iyoko says, that one aside, there are 3 more petitions. Come, we want to investigate you on the 3 petitions. And Tanko said, no, I'm not coming. You don't have the mandate. Iyoko has tried over and over to arrest Tanko, according to the information I have. And he's always been able to run away from justice. I spoke with some of the chiefs in the Volta region over the weekend, names withheld. And I made it clear to them, if you are clean, why are you running away from the investigation? If you are clean, go for the investigation. It doesn't matter if it is a monkey that is going to investigate you, as long as you know that you are clean. This is a national entity. Go, let Iyoko arrest you. Let the matter go to court. Let the court come out and say what Iyoko has done is very, very wrong. Then you have a chance. You have a good point to be able to deal with Iyoko and their bosses. But Iyoko is chasing you. You are seemingly running away, hiding left, right, and center. What are you running away from? This is your party in power, the NDC. He contributed a lot of money during the NDC campaigns and all that. My brother, if your party is in power, how can your own party be witch hunting you? So I don't get it. Now let me give you some of the details that I got from Iyoko. And it's interesting. Now, there's a group called Unigold. Now, Unigold is based in Dubai. Unigold wanted gold from Ghana. But because they knew of so much bad business in Ghana and some other areas, tricksters, crooks, thieves, fraudsters, all over the place in this gold business, they decided to contract a Ghanaian outfit by name JG Resources. JG Resources, we want gold. But you are in Ghana. You know who to go to and get us the gold. We don't want to go directly so that we'll be defrauded. But you, we know you. We can always hold you. And they paid 17 million Ghana cedis. I beg your pardon, dollars. 17 million American dollars to this group known as JG Resources. My brother, my sister. And JG Resources approached the CDM and said, oh, gold, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the discussions were, look at what happened. Sese Edem opened an account. My brother, my sister, on the 5th of June, the contract was signed. Listen, 5th of June, 2025, the contract was signed between JG Resources and Sese Edem. Signed. And on the 8th of June, 3 days later, the account was opened. My brother, my sister, the account was established. and money went into their account. 57 million Ghana cedis in all. Sesiedem went into the account, took 10 million straight away into the personal account, and is the only signatory to the account. And then paid 6 million to Republic Bank to offset some loans that it took from the bank. Another 10 million elsewhere. That was how the money was sent away. And listen, it means the account was opened specifically for this gold business. And after that, the account almost went empty. The problem with Iyoko is this. We have had people come in, petitions all over. Come, let us investigate you. How did you send the gold out of the country? You said you exported the gold in 2025, part of the gold. At the time, Gold Board had banned everybody in Ghana from exporting gold. How did you export your gold? At the blind side of the GRA, the customs, and all the other institutions. Iyoko is interested. And you say you don't want to be investigated. Gold Board, that gave you a license. At the time, there was even a certain kind of suspension of some of these licenses. Gold Board said, nobody should export gold out of the country individually. It has to pass through Gold Board. In June, according to Iyoko, Sesiedem exported gold. How did you export the gold? We want to know. GRA is not aware of it because you have not paid taxes on that. Customs is not aware of it. How did you export this? So smuggling comes in. Money laundering comes in. And Sesiedem says, I don't want to be investigated because you have no mandate. Runs to court, and court says, okay, blah, 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 blah. All right, put that case aside. We are still dealing with the case in court, but we have 3 more cases against you. And according to Iyoko, Sesiedem is running around. They go from house to house where they know he lives. They don't find him. The last time I checked in, it was said that he was hiding somewhere in Togo. Then he comes in once in a while and all that. My brother, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now let us go to Unigold, run the dossier, and let's see the point by point how the gold was supposed, the business was supposed to be done. Unigold is based in Dubai. Unigold is a gold merchant. And he has a sister gold company known as Trevest or something like that. My brother, my sister. And this was how the whole thing happened. Quick with the dossier. Quick. This is not what I want, but we will handle this. We'll handle this. And be sharp and follow me, please. As of April 2026, this is JG Resources Limited. The people that Unigold decided to deal with in Ghana to avoid fraud is at the center of a high-profile $17 million fraud. Please bring it back. Don't slow me down. I don't like this. Keep it. Keep the action. I don't like this. 17 million US dollars. And that's a gold transaction dispute in Ghana involving allegations of fraud, forgery, and contempt of court. Please pay attention and follow. Now, the gold transaction dispute. Now, the case involves a failed gold purchase agreement between the Turkish firm Trevest FZCO and JG Resources Limited. Listen, well. Now the deal. Tavest reportedly transferred 17 million American dollars to JG Resources for the supply of gold door bars. While some gold was delivered, investigators state the amount was significantly less than what was paid for. Flip. Tavest has petitioned the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service, alleging document manipulation and the use of forged signatures and company stamps. Iyoko was also petitioned. Now, a paralegal battle is being fought with Sesi Eden Company Limited, a registered gold dealership. Now, listen. Sesi Eden alleges that JG Resources used his corporate name and the signature of its managing director without authorization to secure the agreement with Tavest FZCO. Flip. This is what Sesi Eden is saying. In December 2025, the High Court granted an injunction and preservation order directing JG Resources to freeze specific bank accounts and deposit the disputed funds into court. Now, at the end of this case, some people might be in trouble and their names are here. But JG Resources has categorically rejected allegations of forgery, describing the situation as a straightforward commercial dispute. Papa Yao Owusu Ankoma, who is the son of Papa Owusu Ankoma, I am told, has argued that the court orders were incapable of being complied with and denied that the company used fraudulent means to secure financing. The case remains under active investigation by the CID, Iyoko, and the National Security. Now, this is Unigold. This is the mother company. And when you read, it's the same issue. He has a sister company called Tavest. So it went through Tavest, and then they hit JG. And now, and all the other ones, the petitions, they have the same problem. We want gold. Part of it is supplied. And then boom, no communication. Iyoko says, Mr. Kwamega, Dr. Kwamega, come. Let us investigate you. Dash it away. It has become a problem. And sadly, some people have released press statements, including some chiefs in the Volta region, trying to make it look like it's a fight against Voltarians. Can you imagine? And I hear a few people online say that, oh, Volta is under attack. Raymond Archer himself is a Voltarian. Since when has he ceased to be a Voltarian? My brother, my sister, that is a fight against Voltarians. Do we remember the Woyome issue? That crazy thief. Woyome stole from the people of Ghana. And when we were chasing him for our money, he ran to the Volta region. And he had some criminal Voltarians cover him up. Oh, he's one of our own. Yeah, bro. What nonsense. Woyome stole from the people of Ghana. And when we were chasing him to get our money, your money, my money, our money, he ran to his base in the Volta region, just around the Sogakope area. And there he was hiding. And he had criminals who gathered around him and they were protecting him against the people of Ghana. The court said, what? Come here. They pulled him in, forced him to vomit some amount of money. My brother, my sister, my money, your money. Today you want to get electricity, you want to get water. If it's not happening, you are threatening the government in power that next election you won't vote. Where is the money going to come from? When thieves like Woyome and the rest keep stealing the money. How? How? are you going to be able to build roads? How are you able to run an economy without going around to borrow like crazy people? For me, my brother Tanko, I can't support you on this. If I am right, like Azuma Nelson said, I'll follow him to his backyard and beat him like my son. If I am right, I don't fear whoever takes me to. I will go because I know I'm right. But you are hiding. And using media, they are coughing. Look, Raymond Archer says there's nothing that will stop him from following this case to the end, and that's why I like him. I don't like criminals. No. I will support a man to the end. But as long as I realize that you have some amount of criminality around you, you are not my friend anymore. It's finished. I'm not like some of those that will come and, be protecting criminals because they have had something from them in the past. No. My brother, my sister, to all the people who are trying to make it a Volta fight, do you have common sense? Are you okay? Meanwhile, Kwame Gan has petitioned the president, asking the president to sack Raymond Archer. Because Raymond Archer is acting ultra-virus. And he has threatened that if Iyoko does not apologize within a specific period, and that period is elapsed, he will go to court. He hasn't gone to court yet. I'm glad that they are talking court. My prayer is that those judges who were taking goats to pass stupid judgments in court have all been removed. Those stupid judges who were taking goats to free armed robbers and criminals as Anas exposed. Do you have any conscience? What a country. A judge who went to law school to learn how to deal with judgment and justice can take a goat and free a hardened criminal, a rapist. My brother, when I saw that documentary, I asked myself, are we safe? That is why a lot of people have no faith in the courts anymore. But now, I believe that things are getting better. After Anas's explosive documentary, all those judges who took the goats and the bribe, shame on you. You are shame to yourself, your family, and your everything. If some of them are still hiding somewhere, shame on you. Because if people start running away to come to the court in order to get justice, and you can take a goat, is that how cheap you are? Goat. Aponche saying, you collect aponche and free a hardened criminal. Go back and watch that Anas documentary. It's a shame. But whatever it is, Iyoko is going to continue to investigate. Hey, you can grow a beard as long as they are punching. Hey, if you want, you can wear horns. You will be investigated. Nobody can save you. Nobody, not even your master Satan. You would be investigated in these times. Why is it that we can't fight crime anymore? When you come out to fight crime, and I see some of these small boys, it's a fight against Voltaireans, and you, Raymond Archer, we are warning you. Such idiots. It's annoying. You want to see a country that is good. You go to England and you behave. You go to America, you behave. You don't want to turn your country to England and America. Yet you are always in a hurry to go there. Nobody should shield a criminal. Let the law take its course. If Kwame Gan is clean, let him come out. But I cannot support a man who is running away from the law. You understand? Yes. Hey, you can do all the propaganda you want about Raymond Archer. The interesting thing is that Mahama is there laughing. He says, Raymond, I put you there because I believe you. And what you're doing is going to help the nation. Even me, if I'm wrong, investigate me. When I heard my mama say this, I laughed and said, well, it looks like the Ghana that we want is what we have now. In the interim, my brother, my sister, whoever you are in these times is judgment day. The law will come after you. And this Raymond Archer is not there anymore. And other like minds are not there. The 8 years of treachery and stealing, gone. Gold Board said, nobody's supposed to send gold out of the nation. Now, you have a license from Gold Board. You were able to send the gold out according to IOCO. How did you do it? You didn't pay taxes. GRA is not aware, according to IOCO. And you are running from media house to media house. From, just like that. Press conferences, left, right, and center. And people are supporting. Because he has a document. I mean, a very trusted brethren of mine also talked about this on his show. And I was truly disappointed. But I hear he's seen the facts and he wants to do a rejoinder. It's all good. No names will be mentioned. My brother, my sister, here is the black ports. In these times, Ghana is a different Ghana. This is not the Nana Addo Ghana anymore. It is not the Baumia lying government anymore. This is a serious country. And some of us, we are serious. The day that we realize that this country is not serious anymore, I think that we would have told ourselves, all this while we've been fighting, we've given up. We'll give it to you. You are interested in criminality, rot. Muna muko asori sucha ubia. Mubimu num muye asori house elders. Look at the Dubois. He was in church preaching. Yet the things he was doing underground as told to us by investigators. Such a person, if there is a mega hell, that's where he should go. Not where Satan is, higher than where Satan is. You don't want a good country. You want a terrible country where everybody is stealing. Once your thief is going to be caught, then all the thieves come around him. Then you have people who can go out and say, some of you took money from Abu Treka, so you should support him.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.